What's up, dirtbags? Let's get those lineups right for week 12. Lindsay, Rhodes, and Michael Fabiano with you here from SI's Fantasy Dirt Podcast. And ready to go. Fabs, we've got some actives and inactives set. Most notably, I think that affects a lot of different fantasy assets. We've got Brock Purdy ruled out against the Packers in
Yes.
the afternoon window, which means that we're going to see Brandon Allen at quarterback, and that's going to obviously impact a lot of the other fantasy assets there. What do we do with them?
Yeah, no question. I mean, the problem is, Lindsay, that we have 6 teams on a bye. So can you afford to sit George Kittle or Juwan Jennings?
No.
I have a league where I'm able to sit Debo. It's a 10-team league, so I am.
Ooh.
But most of, I'm going to play Jackson Smith and Jigba. I have him. I'm pretty deep at wide receiver. So
That felt
if
like a
you can
humble
do
brag.
it,
That's cool.
but I'm doing lousy in that league too, which is like crazy. But yeah, McCaffrey obviously remains a must start.
Yeah.
I may not play Jake Moody in this one. I definitely won't play the 49ers defense without Nick Bosa in that game. But for the most part, with 6 teams off, it's kind of hard to pivot off of some of these players, even with Brandon Allen under center.
That's a good point that you make there too, because we focus on this show a lot on the offensive players that are in or out. Like they've got players up and down the roster that could impact this matchup in a lot of different ways that are not going to go for San Francisco in a very important game for San Francisco in terms of the NFC West. So that'll be an interesting one. From a running back standpoint, still no Isaiah Pacheco. What's going on? Get him back.
Yeah, I know. And Jen Piacenti had mentioned this on the program on Friday that she thought maybe it was going to be another week, and it looks like it will be. Maybe it's just one of those things where they want to have him back at 100%. It's the Panthers. They should smoke this team. Kareem Hunt is obviously a must start in this contest.
Yeah, I'm sure it helps that Kareem Hunt has been doing just fine for them. And so they don't feel like they have to rest Isaiah Pacheco back. Similar story in Carolina with Chuba Hubbard, who's been crushing it. But now we are finally going to get Jonathan Brooks on the field. He'll make his NFL debut against the Chiefs. Miles Sanders placed on IR. So that kind of opens things up a little bit there in the backfield. But what do you anticipate? They're saying that there's not a snap count for Jonathan Brooks. What does this do to Chuba Hubbard?
Honestly, I don't think it does anything to him because they just paid him all that money. He's been fantastic.
Yeah.
He's been their best offensive player by a country mile, and you're going to limit him because of a second-round rookie coming off an ACL? I don't see it. I think Jonathan Brooks is probably going to end up seeing just as many touches as Miles Sanders did before he ended up getting on injured reserve. I'm not concerned about it. And if Brooks does put a dent into Chuba Hubbard, it will show how dumb the Panthers are.
Well,
because this is their best player. Like, Chuba Hubbard has been all they have offensively all year long.
No, I know, but I also think like you look at the Lions backfield with their Sonic and Knuckles situation that they've got going on there. There are ways that in real football, you could look at 2 running backs and say, let's get them both on the field. Let's rotate them through. Let's bring in some different styles. Let's have them do different things. Let's give them a respite. So I'm not totally convinced that Jonathan Brooks doesn't cut into Chuba's fantasy value and or make the Panthers better in some way by getting him on the field more frequently. I really don't know what to expect today. And by the way, with the Lions example, that doesn't downgrade either of them from a fantasy standpoint. Although in their case, also, they're in a good offense with a lot of opportunity. And the Panthers
they're also in a lot of positive game scripts. So
yeah. Alexander Madison and Zamir White, both doubtful. That's an afternoon game, so we don't have an official actives, but we do know that it's looking like Amir Abdullah will get a boost there. It's the Broncos. How big is that boost when you're the Raiders running back? I don't know, but he comes playable in a week where, like Fab's already said, we're missing 6 teams, and you probably have
I'm
to
starting
put
him in 3 leagues this week out of sheer desperation.
Yeah. I had to pick up Roschon Johnson and start him, and it put me in a position to actually root for DeAndre Swift to be inactive against the Vikings. That's not the way it turned out. I know, but that's how we work in fantasy, right? Like you root for the scenario that you have had put upon you, and that's mine. So I'm still going to go with him and just, it's a punt either way, right? Like, so
is Amir Abdullah not available in that league?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So sad. No other running back news. Let's see. Mike Evans, we're getting him back. We already knew that. Malik Neighbors is active. That was something that we were waiting to see. Of course, he'll have Tommy DeVito throwing him the ball, but it's a really good matchup against the Buccaneers. You're obviously starting Malik Neighbors. I think Tommy DeVito is like if you are absolutely desperate, not the worst super flex option to have to put in there. And that's kind of saying a lot. That's all about the matchup. That has nothing to do with Tommy DeVito, but it's a good matchup for the Giants. Keenan Allen active. Adam Thielen is active against the Chiefs. Devontae Smith has been ruled out for tonight's game against the Rams. That'll be a fun one in prime time. Jake Ferguson, we already knew was going to miss this week's game, and he is officially out. And Austin Seibert is going to play this
And
week. For
speaking of Seibert, I know
Commander.
we don't talk about kickers a lot. He got
Yeah.
caught in a lot of leagues. I picked him up in like 3 leagues in the last couple of days to play him. Really good matchup against my beloved but stupid Cowboys. He is in my top 5 kickers for the week.
Good news for
Yep.
the league in which I have Commander's kicker. It's luckily a league where it's not specifically linked to the person, it's the team. So I've been able to float that one. Christopher Soriano, as we turn to our questions here, is in a position where he has to start Laube in a deep Superflex league. So he's feeling my Roshan Johnson with DeAndre Swift active pain.
Sometimes you got to make these hard decisions because it is what it is. You've got 6 teams off. So and again, I mean, at least we project him to get some touches. Maybe he falls into the end zone. I don't know. But I wonder if anyone has ever started a running back who played at New Hampshire in a fantasy league before.
Fascinating. I saw a Raiders beat writer who was like, and he wasn't answering a fantasy question. He was just like, stop talking about this guy. And so that scared me a little bit with regards to Laube.
It's desperation. Anyway, we wouldn't be if there weren't 6 teams off.
Chris Orozco is looking for a flex starter. Wants to know if he should start Kraft or pick up one of these guys off of waivers. It's Romeo Doubs, it's Jordan Addison, or it's Deontay Johnson.
That's interesting. I'd probably go. I have Addison ranked the highest out of that 3 group of wide receivers. The Niners do not give it up to tight ends. They don't. So I don't love Kraft at all. So it would be Addison there, but they're all dart throws.
Yeah, not Deontay Johnson. I'll say that. Like that's like the one that's easy to eliminate.
Isn't it crazy?
From that group.
Deontay Johnson went from being like, oh my God, this guy's awesome, and we got to play him, to like, bottom of the waiver wire. That's it's fantasy football.
Watch that change this week. Just because I said that. I have that effect on sometimes on fantasy football. Like once I have a take, it flips. Kaio, how would we say that, Fabs?
Well, it would be Chow, but it's not, like Chow, Chow, but it's not spelled correctly. So, but see, maybe in Italian, I don't know, maybe.
This one's for you anyway, because it's a standard question. He's looking for 2. Josh Downs, Juwan Jennings, DeAndre Swift, 2 of those 3.
Again, I typically go with the running back in a standard league. If Jennings were catching passes from Purdy, I would go with him. I'm probably going Downs and Swift.
Does the Swift being on the injury report all week long questionable up till the last minute?
No, because he was able to practice the last couple of. No, he's good.
Okay. Chuck Woolery died. Just opening my secondary computer now to get.
Well, I was going to say something at the end of the program.
2 for 2. Okay. Yeah. No dirty thought today. We're going to, just get through as many of these questions as we can. Andre, happy Sunday to you as well. Stafford or Stroud, Fabs?
Stroud. I know Stroud has not been great. The Eagles defense is good. So, I mean, talk to Lindsay about that. And Stafford was bananas good last week with 4 touchdowns. But again, the Eagles defense has been really tough on quarterbacks this year. So based strictly on the matchups, I'm going with Stroud.
Okay, keep it here because we've got more. I actually, Andre, have that exact same dilemma in one of my leagues, my Vegas league. I have a Stafford or Stroud, and I thought about it but I stuck with Stroud. Unfortunately, I've been doing that all season. It's not working.
Well, you got
lately.
Nico hopefully playing more snaps this week. The matchup on paper might not be great, but the Titans defense is banged up. So
I feel like Dell is a guy who might come up as like a, one of those borderline flex type guys this week. How are we feeling about him just before we get to these other questions? Oh, hey, wait, no, not before we get to these other questions.
We have to continue to answer this one. Yes,
we need
have more.
3 PPR and it includes Dell. So let's take care of that here. It's Dell.
For me,
wait, let me answer. Let me tell the people who the people are. They can read. Forget it. Go ahead.
All right. I'm definitely playing DK. I'm definitely playing Ridley. And the third, I'm sticking with Jennings over Dell here.
DK, Ridley, Jennings.
Yes.
So Dell and Myers are on the shelf. And then what's
Mhm.
this Monty or CD in the flex? This is a separate question.
Oh my goodness gracious. I
It's
mean,
Monty.
geez Louise. Yeah, I guess I got to go with David Montgomery.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the CD, first of all, nothing's been good for the Cowboys lately. His
But he had a
environment's
good game
bad.
last week. He
He
had a
has
good game
the
last week, though.
I
Fantasy.
know, but he's also been on the injury report all week. I don't know. I feel icky about CD.
Okay.
I think I put him on the bench in Scott Fishbowl. But that says more about my options in Scott Fishbowl than it does about CD, to be honest with you.
Wait. You sat
What?
CeeDee Lamb?
I think I'm going to. I think I did. I can look it up as we continue. I think I did.
I don't want to waste time, but I'd like you to text me who you are starting ahead of him.
Okay, will do. One of them's Kavonte Turpin, and that's a scoring situation.
Well, yeah,
and
that's
a good. Anyway, sup guys. To Orlando, sup to you. If McConkey sits, should I stash Palmer or Bateman for tomorrow? It's Palmer for me.
Correct, because of the matchup. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I also just picked him up off of the waiver wire and put him in last minute in one of my leagues as well. And one more question for Rolando. Do I flex Dell? See, I told you there were going to be a lot of Dell questions. I had a sense here. That's exactly where we are on the line of this week. Dell, Dowdle, Wandell, full point PPR. I would go Wandell.
I'm probably going Dell there.
Although I don't. That one's close.
The thing
I'm
with
eliminating
Rico,
Dowdle. Yeah.
The thing with Rico is that it wasn't good last week. The Commanders' defense is much better than it's been. Although they gave it up to the Eagles, so that's the Eagles. The Cowboys' offensive line is shut to hell. Like Zach Martin's not playing, and then basically on the other side too, guys. Remember, Travion Diggs not playing either. So yeah. McLaurin's going to smoke the Cowboys today.
Pretty much everyone not named CD that's getting paid. Like all of the big money guys, they're all on the sideline this week. It's not good. Craig needs one of these. It is PPR, Romeo Doubs, Demario Douglas, Darius Slayton, Josh Palmer.
I'm going to have to look at my trusty rankings for that because there's I have Dobbs ranked the highest out of that group.
Do you? Who's number 2?
Slayton,
just out of curiosity.
I like Slayton. I like Slayton as a desperation type of flex, but I'm sorry, what would you say? What'd you say, Lindsay?
Who's ranked second out of this group? Out of curiosity.
Demario Douglas. It's Dobbs, Douglas. It's basically in that order. Slayton and Palmer, but Palmer obviously is going to see his value rise if McConkey is out, but it looks like he's okay.
Exactly. Yep. And that's unfortunately not something that we're going to know one way or the other before you have to make this determination. Bucky Irving or Rachaad White, PPR.
I know this is tough.
One.
I'm going Rachaad White. It's PPR. I'm going Rachaad White. I like both though. I would play both. Yeah. If I'm in a league where I have both guys and I'm struggling because I don't care, I play them both.
I think I'd go Bucky. And I might be wrong.
Here's crush on Bucky. That's why you love.
No, but also when you would have said that in the offseason, who turned out to be right? This girl. Here's why I like Bucky this week and honestly, like kind of into the future, the rest of the season. And Fabs has made some really good points about Rachaad White. Like there really is no discernible difference when they're leading or trailing or any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to pull up the stats that I found this week because I actually did go. We asked that question and then I went and I did the research and then I promptly lost all of the research that I did.
But I think at the end of the day, White remains the guy who's averaging more points per game. It's close. I just like Rachaad White more because he's going to catch more balls out of the backfield.
But let me. I mean, as I can do two things at once. I think. Here it is. The reason why I like Bucky is because they have very, very, very rarely in the last month been in a position to lead, and they're probably going to be in that position today against the Tommy DeVito led tanking New York Football Giants. And honestly, their schedule coming up is also like that. We asked how the split looked when trailing and when leading, and you found in wins and in losses. I found trailing and leading. They've been trailing in the last month. No, I'm sorry. They've been leading in the last month for like 9 snaps. I don't know why I can't find that. Oh, when leading. Rashad White has 8 snaps on the field, and Bucky Irving has 7. Like, they've not been in the last month. They've not been leading. So it's such a small sample size. You can't really figure out what it would look like. Like once Bucky has been like, he's kind of overtaken that backfield more and more frequently in terms of when they are running the ball. It has been pretty split though in every way, but I do think that Bucky gets more rushing attempts moving forward. Bye week's killing me, Jacob. Us two, risk starting Debo or take a chance with Jonathan Brooks? I'd stick with Debo.
Stick with Debo. Yep.
Yeah, we need to see what they're going to do with Jonathan Brooks because there's really no obvious answer there. And I think that Fabs is probably more likely to be right than me, that he probably is just mixed in kind of.
Well, also, too,
he's
playing the toughest run defense in the entire league. Also.
Oh, there's that. Pete.
Yeah.
Pete needs a tight end and a flex. Andrews, Otten, Disley are the tight end options.
The tight end is Otten, and the flex is Chuba. I'm still, and I said this in the column, at Sports Illustrated, that I get it. I mean, Chuba Hubbard's got an awful matchup this week, really bad, but he's been so good. You hope that he gets into the end zone and gets you into the double digits someplace. So I'm just going to stick with Hubbard. I would think more about Jennings if Brock Purdy were the quarterback, but he is not. It's going to be Brandon Allen. So for me, it's Chuba, and then Otten is your best tight end option. That's another thing. There's certain things that we're going to watch out for today. How much Jonathan Brooks impacts Chuba Hubbard's backfield touches, if any, and how much does Mike Evans coming back impede Otten's target share? That's another thing that I'm going to be interested to watch today.
For sure. Juwan Jennings, you guys, I just want to see what it looks like with without Purdy, because otherwise he's like a 20-point per game wide receiver. Like he's in that group of people now from here on out if Purdy's on the field, which unfortunately we might not get to see. And we're definitely not going to see this week. Guillotine League, Goff or Kyler?
Kyler.
Wow. Really? You're going to go in Guillotine, you're going Kyler over Goff?
Yeah. Why? What's so crazy about that?
Because the Cardinals offense has been like this, and the Lions offense.
How's Seattle's defense?
Not
good.
Yeah, but I went and I looked at look at the quarterback play in the last month. None of the quarterbacks that they have faced have gone crazy. Like Stafford, like that. None of the quarterbacks have been particularly good against them, because I did that game earlier this week and I was a little bit surprised that the quarterback play hadn't been better against them, because I know that the narrative is that the Seahawks, and you could play the wide receivers certainly against them, but none of the quarterbacks have blown up. None.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler's been consistent lately, and I just, I'm going to go. I mean, Seattle, they've given up 17 points to 6 quarterbacks this year. Stafford had 18 against them. Purdy had 18 against them. Josh Allen had 20. Daniel Jones had 22. Purdy had 24. Goff had 27. I don't see there being any quarterbacks who are not doing well against Seattle. Who?
Look in the last 4 weeks. Look in the last 4 weeks. I'm literally like, just pull up like the box score from the last 4 weeks.
Brock Purdy had 18.4 and Stafford had 18. That's good.
Okay.
What's wrong with 18 points from a quarterback? And now they've given up at least 18 points to 3 straight quarterbacks. You don't think that's good?
I in a Guillotine League would rather. I mean, fine. I guess you'll take it. I mean, I think Goff and the Lions are going to roll, and so I would rather play for the ceiling. Outside of the quarterback question, we need 2 of these: Mike Evans, Scary Terry, who was scary last week. Eckler, no. Zay Flowers, Jameson Williams.
No, I'm going first two. Terry McLaurin without Diggs against the Cowboys, and they're going to get him the ball because last week they did not. And Evans against the Giants.
They tried. Last week. They could not, because they're very, very committed to him being on the left side. I'll stop. D-Hop or Quentin Johnston?
This one's probably closer than you might think, because Quentin Johnston's got a great matchup this week. And you guys know I'm kind of down on DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think he's had one good game in 4 weeks with the Chiefs, but he's playing Carolina this week. So I'm going to go D-Hop, but it's close.
I would go D-Hop.
Yep.
Shady Grady. Hello. Mahomes or Goff?
This is another good one. I gotta go to the. I have Mahomes at 7 and Goff at 9. So Mahomes.
It's a good week for Mahomes. I played him in one and done. I kind of feel
It
like
should be. It should be.
this week and next week are kind of the last chances for him to play against a defense where it's like, do whatever you want. Next question. Trey is looking for 2.5 point PPR. Jameson Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Calvin Ridley, Malik Neighbors, Rashad White.
So Neighbors is definitely going to be one of them. And I would play Rashad White over Chuba Hubbard this week.
With Tommy DeVito. With Tommy DeVito at quarterback, Neighbors is a must.
I know, but they're playing Tampa. So I mean,
I understand, but he can't throw it to himself.
I get it.
Ridley's been very, very good. Very consistent in a known commodity that is also bad, but succeeding for him.
I'm still going against a Buccaneers defense that just gets smoked by perimeter receivers. And so, if your positive game script for the Buccaneers is the prognostication that becomes reality, then the Giants are gonna have to throw the ball. So
okay. I like Ridley. Swift or Hubbard? Standard. Beep, beep, beep. Fabs.
No, Lindsay's like, I'm not answering that question.
My brain melts.
Go Hubbard. I'd probably go Hubbard there. But
I would definitely.
I'm not in love with either one of these guys today. So
nope. Kittle or Disley?
Not Disley.
Yeah,
Kittle's ready to go. Yeah,
you got to go Kittle. Yep. If Kittle's on the field this year, you got to go Kittle. He's been
really good.
Very good. Hello, Christopher. Let's see. We're going. Okay, here we go with the mid and the Riz. And okay,
I love it. Can't wait.
He's very supportive of you and your unfortunate habit. McConkey or JSN? Full point PPR.
What do you mean? Unfortunate habit? No, JSN.
Quoting the kids. Yeah, it's JSN. McConkey's awesome, but you can't wait. So JSN's safe, and that's good. And then Bucky Irving or Odunze. I would go Bucky.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, Bucky.
Okay, then Laube. Is he mid or does he have Riz?
No, mid. I don't even know if he's mid. I mean, he may be cringe.
He might not even.
He might be cringe.
Yeah, so, I think it's a great speculative pickup in Dynasty.
Yes,
I'll say that.
No question. Yeah, he's young. I mean, he's young. So obviously that's a nice ad. Sure.
Do you love how Doug moved on before we read the Aura 5000 thing so that you wouldn't get stuck?
See, I know that's the thing. I got to ask Christopher. Nope. Maybe he knows. Like, how high can the Aura go?
It can go as high as you want it to go.
5,000, it can go anything. So it could be like Aura 1,258,000.
Well, it just doesn't sound bad. Like Aura, whatever you just said, does not roll off the tongue and or sound good
my
at all.
Stepson.
Okay. Hi, Sleek. Stafford or Stroud? 6-point passing touchdown.
I'm still going Stroud. Again, the Stafford thing, I'm like on the fence about, right? Because he's got his guys. He was good last week, but the Eagles defense has been so good against quarterbacks this year. They're in the bottom 5 in terms of allowing points. They are really tough on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, look here, Jaden Daniels didn't do anything against them last week. So that's why I even though Stroud he's been borderline cringe, he's barely mid, I'm still going to go with him. I will tell you one thing, guys. I know that every time I say something like that, Lindsay's eyeballs go up into her head she's like,
they do. I have like a physical reaction and I can't help it. And I apologize for my face. Hi, Rachel. Guillotine, final 2. We got to get these right for Rach. Okay, Fabs? No pressure.
Let's do it. No.
Justin Jefferson or Malik Neighbors? It's JJ.
JJ.
Okay.
Yep. JJ.
I understand asking the question. You just got to, be sure. And in Guillotine, you overthink everything. Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, or Aaron Jones?
King.
Yep.
I know the matchup's not great, but I mean,
Woo!
There was a lot of talk about why he wasn't on the field at the end of that game in the 2-point conversion last week. I think they overcorrect and they give him the football this week.
You can't put JK in over Derek like
Hell
that.
No.
You know what I mean? Because like the Ravens defense is also tough on running backs. And so it's same. You might as well go with the better player, the more consistent player. And that's Derek and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones. I don't know what to make of Aaron Jones lately. I think what I'm making of Aaron Jones is that they're doing the load management thing that the Packers did last year, and that we're going to get good Aaron Jones, like for like fantasy playoffs right down the stretch.
Well, the Packers didn't do it last year because he was hurt. And so that's why.
Well, he was hurt, but then they also like eased him in. Like he definitely had a
Mhm.
load management thing happening last year, and it benefited him because he was healthy down the stretch. Let's go to the next one. Good luck, Rach. We're rooting for you. Jaden Reed has caused me to lose for a few weeks. Yes, because yes,
Yeah.
Fabs.
Yep.
Need advice on half point PPR. We're picking one wide receiver and one flex. Jaden
Okay.
Reed, Jacoby Myers, Jameson Williams, Quentin Johnston, J.K. Dobbins, Kareem Hunt. One wide receiver and then one other player.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt is definitely your flex against Carolina without Pacheco.
Okay.
And I mean, honestly, I have Jaden Reed ranked the highest out of all the rest of those players. So, I mean, if you want to go J.K. Dobbins because of the revenge game factor, totally get that. But matchup wise, it's not
Right, but
better
that's your
than what
flex.
Reed has.
So wait, but you're saying
Oh,
no,
no,
we
no,
need
no,
a
no,
wide
no.
receiver.
I'm sorry.
He's
Nicole,
not that.
Nicole, yeah, my bad. Reed, you got to go with Reed. Jacoby's got Denver. Jameson Williams, I like him. He's all or nothing. Quentin Johnson, I like him. I just don't like him as much as Jaden Reed. So
I think I'd play Jameson. Because of what you've said, Nicole, like, you know, more than anybody, like it's hit or miss. And you have no, like, when are we going to Jaden and when are we not going to Jaden? There's so many different options in that offense, which is good for Jordan Love and bad for us. So Jameson in an offense that is just clicking in every possible way is going to
would
get the ball.
would it sway you if I told you that the 49ers have given up the fourth most points to slot receivers? Excuse me, the fourth most yards to slot receivers this year?
Mm,
All right.
maybe. It doesn't matter if it sways me. It matters if it sways Nicole.
Yep.
You have that information. I have a feeling that Nicole has a bad taste in her mouth and doesn't want him to lose for her anymore. And so I'm giving her another path. I've cleared another pathway for you.
Okay.
Sleek. Christian Watson, Disley, or Laporta are picking 2 full point.
I actually, and I'm going to check the rankings right now. I think, I don't want to go with both the tight ends. I mean, Laporta's not really been great this year at all, but neither is Christian Watson. And I don't want to put you. I don't know if I want you to go 12 personnel here in fantasy and go with Disley and Laporta. All right, we'll go with Disley and Laporta. 12 personnel.
I start 2 tight ends quite frequently. It's working out.
Okay. All right, there you go. Sleek.
It's fine. And with Ladd McConkey in his precarious injury situation, this might totally backfire. Will Disley, huge part of the offense. Nevin is looking for one wide receiver and one flex in a standard league.
Okay.
D-Hop, Quentin Johnston, Tyrone Tracy, yes. Eckler, Irving, Rashad White. First of all, I am taking Eckler out because they're going to be ahead. They're not going to need to pass the ball to the running back. The Cowboys suck. I'm laying it on for Fabs' sake. But Eckler's situation in terms of the run game with Brian Robinson back, I think that he's an easy one to eliminate out of this group. I think D-Hop is also, to be honest with you, because there's so much volatility attached to him. Tyrone Tracy, I like Irving. I like Rashad White.
Right, but one.
I know we're looking for a wide receiver.
Flex.
I know,
yeah.
and we only have one. So I'm narrowing down my thoughts. And oh shit! So we need a D-Hop or Quentin. That's effectively what we're looking at here.
I'm gonna go Hopkins, and I'm gonna go Rashad White.
Crap. Okay, I eliminated him before I fully understood.
I really like Tracy. I really like Bucky, and I'll be honest with you, I like Eckler too because he's playing the Cowboys. But again, Rashad White has consistently been very, very solid. And so I'm going Rashad White.
I'm a little bit thinking in terms of script that Quentin might. I think this is a tougher one at wide receiver than just going.
It's close because
they're going to be up against the Panthers, and so yes, he could have success, but they also might not be in a passing situation. He doesn't get a ton of volume. That's not guaranteed anyway.
Yep. Again, I'm going to stick with D-Hop just so you guys know. So you know I'm not blowing smoke up your keisters. Rashad White's last 4 games. Now this is PPR, and I know Nevin's question is standard. 29 points, 15 points, 12 points, 19 points. So he's been at 15.7 or better in 3 of his last 4 games. And one of those games, he almost scored 30. And that was against Baltimore. So
again, they've been trailing. They haven't been leading at all. They're going to be in a totally different game script. In the last month, these two, their fantasy points are Rashad White 1.4 and Bucky Irving 1.1.
They weren't getting killed. They lost 23-20 to San Francisco. They lost 30-24 to the Chiefs, and they lost 31-26 to Atlanta.
Okay. If you think it's going to be close against the Giants, then 100%, then go with that analysis. I don't. I think that the Bucs are going to be up. I think we're going to be in a leading situation, and they have not been in that for a very long time. And I think that spells Bucky Irving. But we see it differently, and that's totally fine. It'll make it very interesting to discuss what happens tomorrow on
All right, here we go.
Download wherever you get
PPR. I got White, you got Bucky.
Okay. I don't even remember the bet that we made last time.
No, we're even, Steven. We're even, Steven.
Right that means I won.
We're even, Steven.
Never revisited that. Isn't that funny? Hi, Eddie. We need one flex full point PPR. Only when I asked. Bucky Irving, Pollard, Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, here I'm going Bucky. Yeah.
Thank you.
I just Pollard. The thing about Pollard is that at least the volume is going to be there because Tajay Spears is not going to play. But I don't love the matchup. I don't think Pollard's 100%. And again, I like Bucky Irving. There's nothing against Bucky Irving. I think he's fantastic.
No,
I just like White a little bit better.
100%. Yeah. We're just trying to read the tea leaves for the future. Looking back at the past makes it difficult these last few weeks. My point is they haven't been in the situation I'm anticipating them to be in for a while. And so we're just, making a prediction about what that might look like. Mark Andrews or Dallas Goedert?
Goedert. No Devontae Smith against the Rams. High scoring game. Goedert.
I'm starting Goddard in one and done. And so, oh my God, do I hope that you're right about that one. PPR, we're looking at DeAndre Swift or Chuba Hubbard. It's Hubbard. It's a tough matchup, but I think you have to go with him.
I have Hubbard ranked ahead of Swift. Swift is, not for nothing, but he hadn't been great. Last week he had one run. And that was his entire stat line, basically. That 39, 37-yard touchdown run.
It'll be interesting to see what the Bears look like this week after looking much better on offense last week. And then they run into a very, very tough matchup this week against the Vikings. So will they look terrible again, or will we continue to see some improvement? It'll be very interesting. Jacoby Myers, Worthy, or Xavier Leggett?
So this one is between Myers and Worthy.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you, just Myers going up against Denver's really. I'd say this: if you're looking for a higher ceiling type of play, it's Worthy. And Worthy, Worthy hasn't been great either. The guy can't. He's got bad field awareness, especially on the sidelines. We've seen that a few times. He's learning. He's a young guy. But I'm going to go with him over against Carolina over Myers. Myers is probably going to out-target him, but I don't know if those targets are going to actually equate to fantasy points against Denver's tough defense.
Yeah, I'm torn about Jacoby Myers because Jacoby Myers has been such a big, it's been Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers.
Not last week. Jacoby Myers didn't do anything last week.
I'm just saying, those are the two offensive guys that they have.
Yeah.
In general. Right. So I just Xavier Worthy is, I don't know. I already told you I'm it's a weird matchup with the Panthers in terms of the wide receivers, because I think that they're going to have a big lead. Something has to happen to get them to that big lead. I think it's a great matchup for the running back for sure, because I think the Chiefs are going to be sitting on a lead. I just don't think that they're going to have to continue throwing down the stretch. And so if your wide receiver hasn't already gotten there in the first half, then is he SOL? I don't know. It's tricky. Christian, Tracy or Reed in the flex? It's Tracy.
It's Tracy. Yep. Easy
Don't you
peasy.
love it when we agree?
No, I like fighting with you more.
No, that's not fun. Hi, Sharon. Eckler, Pollard, or White? Pick two.
I feel like I should have a beer, a Yingling. I have one in my refrigerator right now. I want to give a little toast to Sharon when she comes on.
You have a Yingling in your refrigerator?
You want me to go get it?
No. Okay. Is that why you name check this every time? Because you're like, that's my beer. I don't actually drink it, but I have it.
No, it's listen, I have a beer once in a while. It's Rashad White. Rashad White. And then
but you have to pick
I have Evans ranked ahead of JSN.
But you have to pick two.
among wide receivers.
So it's Pollard
So
and White. You have to pick 2.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
Pollard and
Thank
White.
you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then Evans. Yep.
Oh, and then they could flex one of the ones you leave out. I would just continue to leave out Eckler. So I would go with Evans, the
Yep.
Evans JSN, like that's your flex, the extra one.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow, Rach. 2 of these 3. AJ
Yeah, I
Brown
mean,
is now entered into the Jefferson neighbors. So we already
yeah,
eliminated
it's
neighbors earlier.
yeah, AJ and Jefferson. Those are listen. Jefferson hasn't even been great lately. He has not been great. He has not been great, and the matchup's not particularly awesome either. I don't care. I'm going to keep playing him. But AJ Brown, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown 1 at wide receiver and AJ Brown 2. It's a brown out at the top of the wide receiver rankings. AJ's got no Devontae Smith, and he's playing the Rams. So I love that. At running back, you need 2 out of Henry, Connor, Dobbins, and AJ. Henry and Connor for me.
Yep. And that's, I feel like, so we just learned in this second question who the other options were that she'd already plugged in, and it was AJ Brown and it was Connor. Okay, next one here. Matthew, good morning to you. We're looking for a super flex quarterback situation. We're looking for 2 of these 3, Mahomes, Nix, and Love. I'm going Nix and Mahomes personally.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing too. I do like Jordan Love a lot, especially knowing that the Niners defense is down and maybe the pass rush is not going to be what it usually is with Nick Bosa there. But Nix has been white hot, and Mahomes has got Carolina. So
Nick Westbrook as a flex wide receiver.
I guess you could do worse because we got 6 teams on a bye. I'm in a league where I have to play him. Am I thrilled about it? No, but he did make that big play last week. He has given you double digits. I think 2 of his last 4
3
games.
of the last 4.
3 of the last 4. So it's not an awful decision.
Yep, you could definitely do worse this week. McConkey or CD?
Yeah,
go CD.
I'm going CD.
You got to go CD because we don't know about McConkey. We don't know how hurt he is. We don't know. And so CD's the guy there. Should I start Bo Nix or Jalen Hurts? Still Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that this is kind of a legitimate question. It's not like a completely like, what? Of course, my info. You should. No, Bo Nix has been awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, the question, the answer is still Hurts, but it's close. I mean, if your trade deadline hasn't passed and somebody needs a quarterback, I mean, you may be looking to try and trade Bo Nix.
Geno or Tua?
Tua. Easy Tua. Tua should have a very good game down here in South Florida against the Patriots, who gave up 4 touchdown passes to Matt Stafford last week. I don't like Geno this week. In the last 4 weeks, no defense in the National Football League has allowed fewer fantasy points to quarterbacks than the Arizona Cardinals, believe it or not.
It's gonna be me. There you go. I did it right. Finally, the first time. Am I crazy to start Nix over Daniels? You're not crazy.
Are you crazy? No, but the Cowboys stink.
He wouldn't do
Our
it.
number 1 cornerback is down. There were a mess. I say we because you guys know why. I'm going Daniels. I think he has a good game.
I would stick with
Daniels. And then the schedule gets a little tough for Jaden, by the way.
This is we really need to see a big game from Jaden Daniels. Or else we're going to maybe start, like, as they say, hitting the panic button a little bit from a fantasy standpoint. Like, not running. Please run. He might not run today because he might not need to. And so we might not get the fantasy production that comes with that. Black Train, 79-20. One final spot in a deep league. We're looking for Josh Palmer or Estime. Who knows?
I'm going Palmer. I'm going Palmer because I don't know. If I could get into the head of Sean Payton, then I would tell you guys one way or the other because I knew about what was going. Would I be shocked if Estime has 16 carries and 15 fantasy points against the Raiders today? I would not.
Would you be shocked if he had 3 rush attempts for
no? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, and not that I love Josh Palmer either, but I mean the matchup's good at least. I'd go Palmer, but it's rough. I'll give you an example. In one of my leagues, I'm playing Michael Wilson over Audric Estime because I just don't know what's going on with that backfield.
This is, I think, a good question. Specifically, I think that the first part is still yes, that Kittle is still a must start with Purdy out. But I'm wondering like where his rank, where he bottoms out now. Like how far does he fall in the rankings because he's not
I've
doing
still got.
30?
I only dropped him a few spots. I had him at 3. Now I have him at 5 because Brandon Allen's going to be looking to potentially, security blanket. It'll certainly be McCaffrey out of the backfield. It could be Kittle, who's going to be running more of the intermediate short type of routes. So I still have Kittle ranked 5. I have Kelsey, Bowers, Otten, McBride, and then Kittle. And then unfortunately I had Njoku ranked 6th, which did not work out on Thursday night in the snowstorm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a really good question though. We'll find out a lot today, I think, about the Niners. One of the many teams that we're going to find out a lot about. I think that there's a lot going on that's interesting. Stephen Smith needs one. McConkey,
Yep.
Odunze, Liggett, Christian Watson, and Josh Palmer's on waivers.
Daddy.
Yeah. That last sentence was very important for the rest of this because we know that you can protect yourself if Ladd is for whatever reason not available. But out of the rest of these options, I think that Ladd's the guy to go with. Yep. He's been on fire. 6th most receiving yards in the last month and 6th in yards per route run in that same time frame. Ladd gets a big.
I have a decision to make in my Guillotine league. Laddie Daddy or Jaden Reed. It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Is it not? Do you have a backup for Ladd if for whatever reason he doesn't go?
I'd have to look. I mean, it's Guillotine. There's not that many teams left, so I'm sure somebody's out there. So, listen. Yeah. I like
Ladd then.
I like Laddie Daddy.
You can't play Jaden and Guillotine because he bottoms out too frequently. Like he could get you eliminated.
Oh, I'm already in trouble in that league. So, I started George Pickens and Njoku on Thursday night. Oh my gosh, not a good start. Yeah, I might be in trouble in that one. So,
Yep. Wait, who was your other option in that league other than Ladd?
Jaden Reed. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Andre, Mahomes or Herbert? Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Herbert.
She's so excited. She loves it so much. She loves him so much. Her husband is jealous.
No, he's not. And he doesn't have any reason to be. And don't make it weird. It's a football crush. He's also very cute, but he's. Let's move on.
Are you serious? He's very cute. Now, if I said that, by the way,
you say that every 5 seconds, and you say it about.
Okay.
I'm not like, well, if Justin Herbert called me up, freaking weird.
How old is Justin Herbert? Seeing his
but I'm not saying 26? It lustily. You say everything lustily. I just said
don't.
It is right to acknowledge that I do think he's cute, but that's not what I'm leading with. And you're just like, hey, Sydney Sweeney, call me. Like, ew.
Nah, first off, I didn't say that because that will never happen. So
I know.
Yeah.
Hi, Ian. Jameson.
My guess is that she's not looking for like fantasy football analysts to date. Non-PPR, it's Swift.
Oh, okay. I can't even. I can't argue or do anything.
Almost threw an F-bomb out there. Almost F-bomb. Why are people texting me? People are texting me like crazy right now. I'm trying to do a show. Go ahead.
Don't they know? Asking. Which celebrities are they, Fabs? Which ones?
Not gonna say.
He totally is. Which now I know that it is. Celebrity name drop.
It's more than one. That's why.
Commanders or Texans? DST. It's Texans.
Commanders against the Cowboys. Huh? No, it's not. The Commanders are at home. The Cowboys offensive line is shot to hell. Our quarterback stinks. We have no running game. It's the Commanders. I like the Texans too, though.
Have you? Yeah, I was just gonna say you said that all like there was no argument to be made for the.
No, I like the Texans too. I'm starting the Texans, but if I had the choice, I'd go with Washington.
Okay, Daniel, we're seeing I see that he just said no Facebook answers today, but I don't know that there have been Facebook questions or that maybe we just haven't gotten that far yet. And maybe there haven't been as many that have come on that platform. So we'll get there. Jameson, PPR, flex start, Hopkins or Jennings. Oh, this one's Jennings for me. Yeah.
Going Jennings.
You could count on the volume, even though we're not sure what to count on from a quarterback standpoint. Like they're going to be throwing the ball. Jennings is a huge part of the offense. Every single high-end advanced stat says Jennings is like a must start, right? The only reason we're not talking about him in that way and banging the table for him is because of the quarterback switch. But D-Hop is not that. We're looking at Thielen, Keenan Allen, and Worthy here. Pick 2.
I'm sitting Thielen. First game back.
Yes. Whoa. Yes.
Yeah.
Keenan and the
Eddie
Bears
P.
offense and whatever. Romeo Dobbs or Juwan Jennings? It's Juwan Jennings.
It is Jennings.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. We haven't yet met the threshold of like where we start considering other options because of the back here for Juwan Jennings. Jameson PPR flex start, Myers, Javonte Williams, or Jalen Waddle.
I'm going to go Javonte Williams. I mean, it's the Raiders. Again, I'm just going by the matchup. And the only thing that we can look at is what happened last week. Javonte Williams got the majority of the touches. Will Peyton switch back to estimate? It's possible. It's 100% possible. But the matchup is very good for Javonte Williams against Las Vegas. And Jalen Waddle, honestly, guys, Jalen Waddle's barely rosterable right now. He has done nothing this year outside of one game, and that was week 1.
Okay. Yep, that's true. What is going on with Christian Gonzalez? Has anyone seen an update about that? Because that's interesting for Tyreek Hill if he is out or limited. Jay Huber, last week I had to sit all of these guys and survived. This week I need to sit one. I'm guessing this is Guillotine if you're saying that you survived. We're looking at Tracy, Tyrone Tracy, James Conner, Bucky Irving, Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, as crazy as it is, Jay, I think you're right. Chuba. I'm sitting Chuba
Tracy,
again.
Conner, Irving.
Again.
Hubbard.
Kansas City's given up one game to a running back for more than 13 points, and that was James Cook last week. He had 27 yards. I went and looked back in the history of the National Football League. I think it had been like 5 to 7 times where a running back had 27 or fewer total yards and still scored over 19 points. It was a complete outlier from James Cook.
Kittle or Disley?
Kittle. Boston forever. That's a wicked pisser.
Oh, God. Anthony, half-point PPR. Roshan, see, now you're in like my, this is where I am too. Hill? Who? Justice.
Justice Hill.
Got it. Gus Edwards and Estimate.
I'm probably going to go Justice Hill there, half-point PPR. Okay. It's listen, it's rough. That I mean, none of them are great options, but Justice Hill, could potentially get a few, 3-4 catches out of the backfield.
Estimate could get 16.
I know. I just don't know. Like,
but
guys, I mean, like some things like you can analyze and some things you can't. You can't get inside the mind of a head coach who messes around with his backfield. And then also, if it's a hot hand situation, there's no reason Javonte Williams shouldn't have the hot hand if he starts the game because the Raiders are not good against the run. That's my mindset.
Okay. Gilbert, flex, full point PPR, Quentin Johnston or Jacoby Myers. I go Myers.
Go with Lindsay. Go ahead. Go with Myers.
I feel so much pressure. He wants to hear from you. What would you do?
I'm gonna go Myers. I have Myers ranked higher.
Okay.
I don't
put it all on me. I don't like that. Sharon Ruther Yingling wants to know Eckler, White, or Pollard. Pick 2. PPR.
Rashad White, absolutely.
White and
Pollard would be the other, and Evans or JSN Evans.
I feel like we did this one already.
But if you can play both, I would.
Yeah,
Evans
I feel like we did that one yet
Oh,
already.
the funk man.
Picking 2 in standard. Man. DK, CD, Neighbors.
So I'm looking at who's going to get into the end zone. Right, exactly. I'm looking at who's got the best shot to score a touchdown. I'm going to go CD and Neighbors.
Oh, wow.
DK, listen, the Cardinals defense has been good. Against the perimeter, they're better. They're not great against the slot. That's why I like JSN.
Okay. All right. Next up, Xavier Worthy or Keenan Allen?
Xavier Worthy. Keenan Allen's done nothing. Like Keenan Allen's had one good game all year. Yes. So absolutely. I'm going to go with Worthy.
Yep. Okay. Next up, need 2.
Okay.
Flowers, Reed, or Hill.
Reed is out of that group. And the quarterback is Stroud, Darnold, or AR. I don't know who AR is. Oh, Anthony Richardson. I was thinking Aaron Rodgers because he's been in the news. No, it's Stroud.
Okay. Although I will say this, if you are behind or like you are projected to be like I have in one league, I'm like It's like 120 to 170. Like I'm getting smoked, right? In terms of the projection. In that scenario, I would go with Anthony Richardson because I need a big blow up week. And as he showed last week, he has that in him. Matthew, Goddard or Eckler in the flex, half point PPR. We did skip past a lot of Facebook questions there, and I do think we should go back.
Yeah, we should try to get some. Eckler. I'm going to go with Eckler.
Over Goddard. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Close.
Next up,
close.
Daniel,
right,
Xavier Worthy or Keenan Allen.
Right, we had this one.
Okay.
Here we go. David Wysong.
Okay. Neighbors, Reed, JMO, or Odunze.
Sitting one is Odunze.
Okay. All right. We're kind of going fast now because it's 9:50. We only have a couple more minutes. I've set all my lineups though for today.
It's the lightning round. Let's go.
Yeah. Hawkinson, Swift,
Hyperspace.
Eckler, or Kittle.
You can only start one out of that group. I'm going to start
Kittle.
I'm going to start Kittle.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something different. Ladder Puka. Oh God. This is Puka.
Puka apparently doesn't know that his team plays in the NFC West, by the way.
What do you mean? You can tell me later. Demario Douglas or Noah Brown.
Seth, what's up? Demario.
Yeah. Is it Demario or Demario? I don't know. There's anyway. Odunze or Waddle?
I'll call him Pop.
Yep.
Odunze. Nice. I love your dog. Very cute.
Okay.
I love dogs.
It looks hypoallergenic, which makes me like it more. Half point PPR and a flex. Myers, Dell, JMO, Rashad White. Rashad White's in.
So Rashad White is in. JMO is in.
That's it.
Tank is in.
Oh, 2 and a flex. My bad. Okay.
Yeah.
PPR
now
flex.
I'm getting more text. You want to hear who just texted me right now?
Oh, get it ready, Doug.
Jerry Cantrell. I'm sorry.
I'll do it. Celebrity name drop.
The
PPR
guitar god.
PPR flex.
JC.
Ridley Swift or JMO?
Ridley.
Yes.
I like Ridley's been good, man. Happy Thanksgiving, Trey. What's up?
Ooh, Kyler or Herbert. This is Herbert.
I dig them both. I'm going Herbert.
Okay. All right. J.K. Dobbins, Juwan Jennings. Whoo! Whoo! I think I'm going Juwan.
All right. There you go. Go with Lindsay.
Just because JK, it's a tough matchup against the Ravens defense. Both of those defenses are really good against the run. Is it going to be a defensive, grind it out? I don't even know. I'm going to Juwan. Seth, Geno, Richardson, or Darnold?
AR. I don't like Darnold in the game against Chicago. I don't like Geno against Arizona. Okay. I don't mind Richardson in this case. I don't love him, though.
Okay, holding out a spot for McConkey. If he's out Monday, do you take Josh Palmer, Rashad Bateman? We did this one earlier with somebody else, and it's Palmer. J.K. Dobbins or Irving? It's Irving.
Bucky.
Yep. We'll take 3 more. Juwan Jennings or Jameson Williams? Half point.
Jennings.
Okay. Yes, it's Jennings.
Yeah.
Please don't suck, Brandon. What?
No, go ahead. Supersize. Senpei, I don't know what that is. Janu or TJ. Janu was awesome last week. I'm still going TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. Yep. Kraft or Andrews?
Andrews. Kraft has not been good the last couple of weeks, and the Niners are really tough against tight ends.
Okay. All right.
Is that it? Are we done? We have more?
There's lots more, but
Jaron Herbert is cute. I agree with Lindsay. Listen, he's handsome. If I could trade my face in for his, I would. I'd rather trade my bank account in for his. That's for sure.
The hair too. The hair is cute. Okay, now I know. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. Stop it.
I say something about Sydney Sweeney's hair, you'd be like, "You're a creepy old man."
Yeah, but it's more like it's changed. It's changed. There's nothing about me and him in this observation. It's very asexual. It's just oh, look at that young man who's so cute.
Listen, where's Matt? I'm going to text him. Your husband's better looking than Justin Herbert, by the way. He's a handsome
My husband's very good looking. Thank you very much. Don't text him about this.
I'm gonna.
Please don't.
I'm going to text him right now. I'm going to tell him.
Don't, because then he'll be like, why are you talking about Justin Herbert on a live stream like that? And then I won't be able to root for the Chargers.
I'm not going to say anything about that. Do we have any more questions?
They'll be like, mommy loves Justin.
6 minutes.
We don't want that.
Vegas Doug, we got anything else? What do we got?
Vegas Doug wants to go set his lineups. Vegas Doug is bye. You have had enough of my time.
All right.
Let me text you guys right 5 days a week. We're there with the Fantasy Dirt podcast. You can get it wherever you get podcasts, and we would love to have you there as we recap all of this advice tomorrow and we see what went sideways and what we nailed. I hope
Let's
that
go,
you guys
Rashad.
have a happy
Yay!
Thanksgiving. Also, sing a lot of those
Yeah.
types of
Happy
comments.
Turkey Day.
Yes. Okay. Enjoy the games, guys.